So hello guys, it's me, Red the Dinosaur, and today in just doing something different, something that I wanted to do this week is talking about the Jaguar rebranding. Something that happened this week. They wanted to show us the new direction that Jaguar is taking. I knew Jaguar was basically changing a lot. Well, they were not profit for a long time. I saw like articles citing that Jaguar was on loss since 2018. The sales were falling off 80% since that date. So they have this now new direction. They wanted to just go full in on the EV market. If you don't know, well, that's electric vehicles, and wanted to just sell that luxury brand as electric vehicles. So this is the direction they are taking. We are on the web page as you are seeing right now. And this is basically the new branding they are taking. We're gonna talk about the font, we're gonna talk about logos from a professional standpoint, from also me as a car guy, what I feel about it, and yeah, a lot of things that I want to just talk about the whole Jaguar branding. This is not gonna be like one of those clickbaity videos of me just doing on just basically talking shit about it. This is be an actual something proper, more professional, and something from my graphic design standpoint. What this Jaguar thing sells to me, what could be all the fonts, all that stuff, what it means, and what they are telling to sell me, and the communication that they are giving to me, and also to future customers and also current customers of the brand. So we're gonna start here on the webpage on Jaguar. You can see right here the new font that they are using, pretty generic in my opinion. Something that sells me probably babe, kid fashion, something elite. At least they some like something very generic, but that is very expensive. At least kind of works on the expensive part, but it's still pretty generic on my end. I don't see anything car related on the font itself. Are you gonna say, "Oh, red," but you can conclude about only the font? Well, yes, Porsche has its own font, Corvette has its own font, Ford has its own font, and it works perfectly for them. It actually communicates only with the font themselves. It makes part of the logo and the branding as well. So Jaguar pretty much is pretty generic on that. At least in this one is being helped by the car that we see here. Well, it's an actual car thanks to the wheel arc and the wheel right here that you can see. I think this is gonna be a concept car that is gonna be shown on the data that we're gonna see on Miami. That I think the event is gonna be on Miami. Again, doesn't help too much the location because well, Miami is one of the hubs of fashion design. So I don't know what exactly is gonna be the direction that Jaguar is taking, especially with this huge 180 that they are taking. It's just terrible in my opinion. So we're gonna talk about the teaser right here. I wanted to well, just to at least talk about cars for a minute. We can see here probably is the back of the vehicle, probably the concept, and we see like a vent and like something. Probably this is luggage space because, as I said, this is an EV company now. Jaguar is only gonna sell you electric cars. So I don't think this is gonna be like an engine bay or an engine compartment. I don't think so. Probably these bends probably are just cosmetic. Overall, like the back of the vehicle already doesn't say too much. I actually confused it first as an air conditioning unit. It's that bad, I don't see what exactly the design direction of Jaguar is going on. Is extremely confusing at first. Even for a car guy, is pretty confusing. I don't know exactly for someone that is being introduced to the brand is gonna say it's just all over the place. You're gonna say it on the video. So that's pretty much Jaguar what it is. The new era with the basically the video. that was shown to me, especially on Instagram. That was the first thing I saw, and for me it was like, this is Jaguar. Like, what is this? Like, I don't know what is going on. I thought like a lot of things going on. Like, you're gonna see it right here on the video. We're gonna just check it out on YouTube. I already saw it on like on YouTube. They deactivated comments and likes, which is, a big red flag. When you don't let people speak their mind in the comment section, you know that's a big red flag. So we're gonna just check it out right here. Yeah, this is the whole thing. Create exuberant, and this whole like clothing, fashion design inspired video, showing a lot of colors, a lot of people looking with really weird uh, clothing. It kind of gives me that sense of perfume, of something that non-car related, something that is more keen to the fashion shows than actually car related stuff. I'm not saying that you should be completely just give tips that, oh yeah, you need to show the car first. Well, at least you can communicate it better. I know that it's an advertising campaign. We don't know exactly what is going to be the huge picture. This is just like a snippet, a tease of the advertising campaign that they started. But overall, I can say something. The campaign is a success. Why? You're gonna say, oh yeah, yeah, bro, how dare you? They destroyed the Jaguar brand. Yes, I get you and I understand you. But in the advertising standpoint, Jaguar now is being talked to everyone. Even I saw Morning Brew talking about Jaguar. Something like Morning Brew just talk about generic news and mainly economics, all that stuff. They were talking about Jaguar now. Like, these put the word in their mouth. And that is the success of this advertising, just putting on the spot something that is grabbing attention, and even that is something really polemic. That's what works in Jaguar. So they did a really good job. That, well, again, from a car guy standpoint, is pretty damn bad, but from the advertising standpoint, is a huge success. So let me just really just change the camera here, right there. So we're gonna keep just saying, we are here to delete ordinary, to go bold, to copy nothing. And December 2, 2024, that is basically the date that is gonna be the release date of the new Jaguar, to call it that way. Again, it's pretty insulting as a car guy to just completely erase the history of Jaguar. For me, that's like the most insulting thing, because like Jaguar has a lot to sell. Like, I think it's one of the most important brands in car history. Like, they have a huge success in selling you their history. What the F Type is a sports car that is super inspired on the E Type of 1960s. The huge Le Mans victories in 1955, and the Le Mans victory in Group C beating the Porsche 956. Like, that's the thing that Jaguar should focus on, to just reassure customers, to say, hey, we still acknowledge what we were before, but we are taking this route. But we are still inspired on what this history is all about. Like, what Jaguar before was to us. And that's the direction they should take, to reassure more, trust on all customers, especially people with petrol engine Jaguars, that they were, that they bought that car for that piece of history. It's like kind of the same as Porsche and Ferrari and many other brands with huge histories. It's like you buy those cars just to be part of that history. You know, I my friend GB likes Mustangs, and Mustangs are a really good example of that. Like Mustangs sell you the history of the car. One of the most successful muscle pony cars in all history, and one of the most sold cars overall. It was a huge success, and is why he got so mad about the EV Mach-E. It's like it's a complete ignorance of the tradition of the Mustang, of what the car is, what it's meant for, what the Mustang as a brand is. So in this is basically the Mach-E, but complete like on six Red Bulls. It's just a complete ignorance of history, of heritage. It's why people is so mad about. On this, that I have to take the image because it was getting me a bit sick, is basically the Jaguar as a clothing brand. Is like what I think is selling me. You know, this lady with this beautiful dress, but it's giving me that vibe, that history, like it's giving me that vibe of Jaguar as a clothing brand that is a huge failure in my opinion. Like if you want to sell me luxury, you need to do it in the right way. I know the beautiful dress with these women. I don't know. I don't know. It gives me more vibes of a generic clothing brand that wants to sell you that vibe of luxury, of that vibe of we are different, creative, we are vivid, alive, with all these flashing colors. It's not luxury. It's just basically fashion, and it's completely the opposite of what Jaguar is. So this is the snippet of the video with all the people with really odd clothing. Again, it's an example of what I'm telling you. Clothing design is what Jaguar is selling me. It's completely the opposite of what Jaguar is or was. So I don't know, but at least it's really impactful. Like a lot of vivid colors, a lot of things going on. Yeah, that's the thing. Something I wanted to point it out. Some people on social media are just saying, "Oh, this is like go woke, go broke." Even people that like fighting each other. That like some people was obviously rejecting the direction that Jaguar was taking. And well, they put the example of the video because the video is all over the place. But the other side decided to just pick and just cherry pick things and say, "Oh, so you are racist now." Because, well, the commercial has a lot of diversity, and well, you have people of color, people of various types, like inclusion. Is I don't think that's the conversation. I don't think a cherry picking genders and race, basically the color of the people is not the conversation, and it's something that I wanted to point it out, that it's just silly. I think the what people that knows about Jaguar, they don't think about this, they of why, oh no, they put people of color, like it doesn't matter. I think the whole picture is what matters, is the complete lack of any brand at all, like what Jaguar was. So I think that's the most important thing. Is not the people. Oh no, that's another topic that if you want to just discuss it with your favorite grifter, the quartering, well, go for it. But that's not the complete the conversation about Jaguar as a brand overall. So We have here championing originality. Again, this is basically a copy of perfume, of again clothing. I don't think this is original, so I think that's a lie. Jaguar is collaborating with a collective of original creators across the arts, exploring new perspectives, challenging boundaries. Well, at least challenging boundaries is doing it very well. The boundary of, breaking your tradition to do something new, well, you do some, at least I can commend you that. But if you're challenging that and it's not working very well, again, you're trying to do advertising in the most impactful way, creating controversy and putting your brand in the mouth of people, even people that don't know about cars. So, at least that's a success, I guess. But I don't know if this is a new perspective. I think this perspective of cars in car brands has been seen. The inclusion, the vivid colors, the inclusion of clothing fashion has been something that is pretty active on cars. Like Hermes collaborations with Pagani, with Bugatti. We saw collaborations of elite fashion brands with car brands. So I don't think that's original. And so yeah, there you go. And here, this is basically just so you can just sub your email and all that stuff. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the web page. I think that's the best source that we can get. We're gonna pass to just check the logos. This is a comparison of the old Jaguar with the new Jaguar. The most famous and the most iconic brand is this right here, this logo, the face of the animal itself, Jaguar. What it is about: fast, menacing, aggressive. That's the thing of the Jaguar. And the animal, the face of the aggressiveness of the animal itself is what people wants about Jaguar. Like, that's what people buys an F type, is because it's a sports car. It's something that is gonna be menacing and quick. It's gonna be like the animal itself. And also people buys an F type because of the history of Jaguar. We can see it right here with this beautiful E type of 1960. It's like they want a part of that history. This is why people buy even an F base. It's because even when it's an SUV, it still has retains that DNA that Jaguar has. Is why the animal and the brand, the logo, is so important. So that was the past. Now we have the future. The future is right here, JR, Junior. I call it that Junior. It's just to mock the design, because it's. I know people like simplistic things, but this is just cheap. I know there is simplistic logos out there that work very well, but Junior is not the thing. Like just creating a circle, put a J and ending it in the upper part, and R on the lower part of the circle is just cheap. It's just something that was created, in my opinion, was created in 5 minutes. It's cheap, it's mediocre, it completely goes out of touch of what Jaguar is and wants to sell me. So right here we have the new use of the animal. Uh, for me, like, it gives me vibes of Puma, and that's a bad sign. Like, just trying me to just I will, if you sell me this in a box, I will confuse it with Puma, because, well, I know Puma, pretty famous sports branding, like the one that sell you T-shirts with famous football groups, all that stuff. But you put this on a box and it just confuses me with Puma. It's not Jaguar anymore. I know, I don't know if it's gonna be used on cars. I hope it does because, well, it helps the branding. At least the animal is there. So, at least I hope this is still is being retained, not Junior. Like Junior is absolutely awful. We're gonna see also the font compared to the old font and logo. You can see Jaguar, the detailed Jaguar jumping is just really really iconic. I think is one of the best brandings in car culture. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. And you see the old branding, the old font that is pretty serious, that is classy, but at the same time sporty, and is very well done on this. On here, we're gonna do a bit of an activity. So right here, we're gonna just crop this out, and we're gonna devoid it of the old logo, and we're gonna leave it with the new logo. And yeah, now it's changing again its identity when you devoid the new font of the colors and the car that we saw on the start of the video. Now it shifted. It gave me that sensation that you're again selling me kids, elite kids fashion, maybe vaping, maybe something related to even electrodomestics, like selling me a blender, like something like KitchenAid or something like that. Like, this is the problem when you use something really, really generic to your brand, is that it gives you that it confuses you. You don't know what you are selling. This use of the font is just very generic. I don't like it's something that you can find it on the internet and just put anything and you could create a brand with it. But this is not selling me cars. It's just selling me everything except cars. Like, electrodomestics, kid fashion, vaping, not car related stuff. A huge miss on this completely bad. It's, in the terms of design, it's something that I fully I just take it as a complete one of 10. You put it one because they at least they tried. So this is what it is. That's Jaguar, the new company. So what is with Jaguar in the future? We're gonna put something much better on the screen, and we're gonna see current Jaguar. Well, we're gonna call it old Jaguar because, well, they are selling you really cool electric cars. But this is the old Jaguar. This is the F type. What you see first on the F type presentation web page. You see how much it changed? Now you have like this delicate but mysterious, but at the same time classy presentation of the F type. That is a beautiful car. So the the future of of Jaguar looks pretty grim in my opinion. Is a brand that, if it fails massively on its new current fashion luxury EV, is gonna be so the parent company is Tata, and they have two choices if this fails. First, probably sell it to anyone. Could be another parent company, or just sell it to an individual, or we kill the whole brand overall, like they did with like back then in 2009 when Hummer and Pontiac were killed by GM. Like that could happen if this project completely failed. the seismic change completely fails. Like the seismic change completely destroys the brand. And it could happen. Again, we saw the concept and it doesn't look very promising. And the EV market is pretty competitive. I think when people that want an electric car, they do it for just convenience because it's a tool. At the end of the day, a car is a tool, so they want to go A to B, and well, it's a cheap way to you don't just stop wasting money on gas, and you are contributing to the environment, all that good stuff, blah blah blah, the things that electric vehicles sell to you. And you have the this new way of Jaguar presenting themselves. It's a pretty competitive market because, well, you have Mercedes with the AQS, but basically it's the electric variant of the S Class. That is a luxurious car that is electric as well. So you have to compete with that. You also have Porsche that, well, sells the Macan EV, the upcoming 718 EV that is gonna replace the old one, and the Taken. The Taken for me as a Porsche fan, I try to not acknowledge it, but the Taken is in a really good position that contributes with the sport and heritage of Porsche. It helps sell the Taken, even when it's an electric car and connected with that heritage. It is even to this day. I don't think it's the future of Porsche. I think Porsche to the direction is going is leaning more towards the synthetic fuel development more than the selling electric vehicles. I think electric vehicles is something that, well, they wanted to just punch in the market with the Taken and the Macan and the upcoming 718. But Porsche is more lenient to synthetic fuels. So, but still, they have to compete with the Taken, a really fast sedan that is also pretty luxurious. And lately, this is the one I wanted to talk about. They had to punch against Tesla. I know, and I have my differences with Tesla. I still think is not a tech brand; it's a car brand that is being sold as tech. And something that Tesla has done very well is the fact that they have been established as an electric brand since 20 years ago, even more. And they have been producing this sensation of luxury again almost 20 years ago with the Model S. So it's gonna be pretty difficult to Jaguar to come in as a new brand and punch the market of Tesla and try to rob as much customers of a Model S and convince them to buy a Jaguar. It's gonna be quite difficult. Just go against that market. Like there is brands that did it, and well, they were successful on it, but because they connected their heritage to against Tesla. So I prefer buying a Mercedes Benz EQS than a Model S because, well, I prefer a Mercedes Benz product than a Tesla. But there is people that prefer a Tesla because it sells you that the innovation. It sells you also a SpaceX as a connected part of innovation that Elon Musk has been creating with Tesla. And also the creativity of Tesla. As much you can say about the Cybertruck, and don't get me wrong, I hate that truck too. The Cybertruck is one of those signals of innovation and also the fact that Tesla is not scared to do something different. And Jaguar wants to be on that direction to just, be bold, be creative, that wants to be something different out of the bunch, be not mundane enough. They want to be unique on and is going against that established market that Tesla created long short with the Cybertruck. It's like that people that want something different. That hey is a bold statement. The Cybertruck is for me the Hummer H2 and the Cadillac Escalade of this decade. Like back then in the 2000s, having a Hummer H2 and a Cadillac Escalade was a signal of being the king of the road, of being of having such obnoxious vehicles. It was like the victory. You reached everything. You are in a really good position. Nowadays, those two vehicles are just part of an era that is all gone. But the Cybertruck is that. For me, it's like this is the icon of this new 2020 decade. We're gonna that car, as much as you hate it, is gonna be remembered as an icon. So Jaguar wants to go to that market of creativity, but it's gonna be quite difficult, especially because people are more keen to the conservative, to something to remember, something that the past gave to them. If you see the market that Lotus recently abandoned of backpedaling of being only an EV brand, like if you see the hypercar market, the market of such a small target, the billionaires, the millionaires that can afford those vehicles, they are more keen to get a V12 with a manual gearbox. That's something that sounds really old school, but it's what those customers want. They don't want the Rimac. Hell, even Rimac themselves itself, the founders said that the people that he was targeting are not interested in in a Rimac electric hypercar anymore. They wanted a petrol manual gearbox car. So it's like this market was so scared of seeing the car as a whole, what they know, disappear due to technology, that they want that piece back. They want that history back. And that's something that is gonna collide with technology in car culture. I think more people are keen to go back to an inline six, an inline four, to a V6 or a V8 that basically gives that sensation of sport, that sensation of being on control, to be even part of a test of a human, of reflexes, of all that stuff that electric vehicles don't offer. Like they try to imitate those things, but they fail massively. And Jaguar is gonna face that. It's gonna face a lot of customers that are just doing stuff like that, and just is gonna be quite of a challenge. So that's the thing that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I don't know. It's a challenge to actually just see this, and it is what it is. Future is something we don't know, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I know this turned into quite of a ramble about electric vehicles and the future of cars, but it's part of the conversation of Jaguar. And well, if this doesn't work, well, I hope anyone brave enough and wealthy enough can save Jaguar. And I hope that person in the future sees the heritage of Jaguar and go back to that those gold memories of Jaguar. And I won't be mad enough if Jaguar turns into the future into a coach built hypercar brand. Like, hey, if you want to sell me a successor of the XJ220, go for it. I will be more than happier to get that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Quite of a different video, I know, but it's something that I wanted to talk about. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Quite of a long video as well, almost 35 minutes. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.